So it is the next quarter. Today's July 1st. So it's time to sort of dive into the next journal. Recently, I've been doing one journal every 3 months. Which is a surprise to me because before I used to do it every 4 months. I would start a new journal. And now it has become a quarterly thing that I do. And I was lucky enough to be able to get the Archer and Olive box for this, the subscription box for this quarter. So it sort of inspired me to try out new things. And I always think that when you don't choose what you have, it gives you sort of like a challenge to try and do something that you might have done before and sort of expand your repertoire, if you will. It was a great box. It came with all sorts of things. There are plenty of people on YouTube who will go through every detail of what is in the box, but this beautiful journal was in there, and I love the little details here and the little cactuses here. And I am a big lover of the A5 stuff, so that's the size of this journal. So the tools that I sort of used to get myself started, they had a wonderful little stamp set in here. They're little rubber stamps that come off, and then you can stick them to this block and use them to sort of stamp. Mine, of course, are not as clean as people on the internet because I was like, oh, I need baby wipes to sort of clean these, and I didn't have them at the time when I started using them, so it happens. But it came with lovely inks to work with. We have sort of a terracotta, an olive green, and a sandstone. And so it also came with this fun little dauber. You can attach, I used one for each color, but you can attach this and make sort of a background effect, which I think is really kind of cool. So let me dive into what my journal looks like. Now, as I open it up, you can see that there's some really cool images here on the side. I tried to add some in here, but they didn't come out very strongly. And I have my key, and I tried to do, this is like my first attempt with the stamps, and so it didn't come out as clear as I would have liked to. But whatever. Then I sort of experimenting with using it at the top to sort of give a color. So I haven't filled in my complete index yet. But this was my future log. This is the part that I'm super proud of. So first of all, I made a mistake on this one. So I tried to fill it in with marker, and it didn't look as well or good as I would have liked. But I love this whole process because you sort of learn, let me sort of zoom in there. You sort of learn more as you go along. So I used some of the stencils that came with the kit to sort of give me this little rough texture and here, and tried out those. I used washi tape to sort of close off the boxes. And that way, like when I was doing the daubing and the stamping and whatever, I wouldn't like go onto places where I didn't want those stamps or things like that. I used their stencil kit to make this and use the daubers to sort of give it color. And this as well. And then I used the stamps to sort of give like the moon and some plant life and saguaro cactuses and things like that. I also used their wonderful gel pens to sort of work on that. And I've been keeping them in the box because I don't want to move them into my regular stuff, but they were lovely little gel pens. I don't usually work with gel pens, so it was a little bit of a learning curve for me, but whatever. You'll find later that I use more of the Tombow markers are my jam, though I use them here and I kind of regret it. But then I learned some things because the next page I sort of didn't do that. I didn't make those same mistakes. I used some washi tape to sort of get an area and then use the dauber to sort of give like that highlight there. These stickers I got from my multiple books of stickers. I sort of went through knowing that this was going to be my theme for this month, and the theme of this journal. I sort of went through all of my stickers and pulled out any one that sort of seemed southwesty or had desert stuff in it, and all of those I just stick them right in my folder in the back. So like I've got a whole bunch of fun stickers to work with that are southwesty themed or travel themed, that sort of thing. I wouldn't have picked Southwest for my themes at all, or deserty stuff. So it is interesting. Ooh, got a little peek there. But this was my next attempt, and I think I did really well with the stamps. Again, getting better. I used some of the gel pens to sort of give it some details. I accidentally put another sun here. But you know what? It's part of the thing of making these journals and working with it is like you learn what to do and what not to do, and you get better, obviously, than my first one here. I think this one looks much clearer, much stronger. This is more my style than this stuff. So we'll see how it all turns out. I haven't filled in anything because one, I don't want you to know anything that I'm doing, but two, I also think it looks really messy if I'm showing off this stuff. So I've also put my quarter goals here, and obviously I haven't filled them in. This is my third quarter stuff. I'm actually thinking of doing more goals than I did last time, so we'll see how that goes. But this is my July, sorry. I don't know why I have January on the brain. This is my July sort of outlook for the month. I usually fill this in with all the things that I'm doing. It makes it so I don't always have to open up my phone to figure out what I'm doing or what I'm working on, that sort of thing. I used the Tombow marker 993 to sort of make these lines with its pen tip and make the sort of lines like this with the brush tip. I also used it to make my July up here at the top. I have used basically all of the stamps on this. I used some washi tape to sort of like shore up my design after I put the design on first and then shored it up with some washi tape and then put in this color with the dauber and then put in all of these wonderful stamps in here. The only one that I was like, I don't like that one is this. It came out so dark and I did not like that. But, you have to accept it. It's funny to me to point this out because I pick on my mom about this, of like when she's making a quilt, the first thing she does when she hands you the quilt is like, oh, look at this mistake. Which I'm always like, it's beautiful. Like, why are you like pointing out its mistake? That's so crazy. But she sometimes does that. Anyway, and apparently she passed it on to me. But yeah, so here's, the first day. I haven't really filled it in. I haven't done the stamp yet. So, nor do I want to like give you everything I'm doing today. But I just wanted to sort of share. This is, sort of inspiration maybe for people who are doing this. I've chosen that. Now, I usually choose one color that's going to be the color of the month, and this is probably going to be my color. And I always add an extra little pen holder to everything I do because I like to have my pen here and then I'll put the color one in here because it fits better than the type of pen I like to use. So there's that. I also have, this set, and it comes every 3 months or so, from Archer and Olive. And no, I am not a brand ambassador. Wish I were, because I could save some money. That would be great. So they have this really cool washi tape that looks like little half moons, and it's sort of like variegated in its color. So it changes color as you go along, which I think is really nice. And I used it on one of these pages, this page, to sort of I made these boxes a bit smaller to fit with the tapes. So I thought I'd put it on the side to sort of cover up the white area that was in between. It also came with this sort of, I don't know what color that is. Sandstone, maybe? I don't know. But it comes with this sort of tape, washi tape that has kind of the same designs that you have as the stamps. So I thought I would use that for July, because I usually pick 1 or 2 tapes to sort of decorate the entire month, and then I move on to a different theme in the next month, because it sort of like gives you a really quick way of, when you open up the journal, you can tell what month you're in. So this one I am going to use for this month, and I think I'm probably going to use that one too. And the other tapes that came with this set, this one is, I so love it, and obviously I put it here, but it has this sort of sheen to it. I feel like I may use this one more in August, because I didn't sort of use it in the July calendar as decoration. I used the pink one. So the fourth tape that came with it, I love this so much, but it's so thick. I don't know how I'm going to use it in my journals. I know people do junk journals and things like that are totally amazing, and I love the shimmer on this. It's such pretty tape. But I don't know how to space things with this color, and I don't have, or at least I can't find, I know I have one, a little X-Acto knife to sort of cut out shapes and things like that, so I could put it down here and then cut off, what I don't want. But I really do love the tape, so I'm hoping that I will be able to factor it in maybe in August or something like that. We'll see how that goes. There's also a journal that sort of matches this, this that's in the travel size. I've tried out the travel size before, and it's good. It's just odd to me because it's so angular and long, that sometimes I won't do that. I was thinking that maybe I would do a commonplace notebook with that as, the journal I'm working with, because it's slimmer and I can take it with me and all of that. So that's pretty much what I'm working on, or what I'm working with this month. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you do, like and subscribe. And you can always find me on Patreon for my Vibecasts and other things, at Adam Sartwell at Patreon, and at adamsartwell.com.